Hey YouTube, this late summer 2023 pinball map update is one we've been working on for a couple months. We thought it might be helpful to go over these updates in a quick video. First, I'll cover some small changes. This one was a user suggestion. If you're showing on this screen that's showing recent activity nearby, you could click filter, and previously you can filter by one of these different types of activities, and we made it now so you can filter by multiple. Okay, so thanks for that suggestion. Next, a lot of people leave comments saying that a machine has Insider connected, Stearns Insider connected, and the problem here is that if you leave a comment, someone might leave a new comment shortly after that saying, the right flipper's mushy, and then that comment saying Insider connected gets buried. So we thought we'd add a little toggle button instead, which you could see on this screen here, where you can toggle whether it has Insider connected or not. So no need to leave comments saying this anymore. And we've already tagged over 1,000 machines. And if you tag one, please do so based on your personal experience and not on the Insider Connected website, since that locator sometimes shows machines that aren't actually there at the location anymore. Okay, so now moving on to a bigger item, going back to the map here, we changed basically the source of the map tiles that we show are not Google Maps anymore. We're using Mapbox, which uses OpenStreetMap data. And this change was largely made in order to improve performance and to have Android achieve feature parity with iOS. And the performance issue was that our previous map package had a bug that resulted in when there were lots of map markers on a screen at once, some of them would start disappearing. And then if you clicked a call out, which shows the little info window, sometimes that was rendered incorrectly. So we had to go nuclear and add a different mapping library. And the Android parity issue was that it didn't use these custom markers that we're seeing on the screen that show the number of machines per location. It was a performance issue there that would cause the Android app to kind of grind to a halt. Along with this, we also put a lot of effort into optimizing how data is pulled from our database into the app. And without going into too much detail, basically we now use the corners of this visible screen to calculate which location should load. And I'll show that here. I loaded, and then if I zoom out, there's nothing that was outside of where I just refreshed the data. Also makes it so when you click the list button, it's not listing a bunch of locations that weren't visible on the map. Previously, it was using the radius of where your location is, which, since our phones are rectangles, would result in a bunch of locations being loaded off screen. And we also optimized the endpoint that pulls in this data, so it only contains the data that we really need when we're showing this map view. So things should be faster. And also, as a result, now you could zoom out further than before. And there's different levels to how far you could zoom out based on if you're applying a filter or not. So, for example, and that's because you're probably loading less data as you have filters applied. So if I am showing only locations that have 20 or more machines, that filters out a lot, and you can then start going a fair amount out more and get kind of a better idea of where all these places are that have 20 or more machines. You could, if you add additional filters like arcades that have 20 or more machines, you can even start zooming out even further. If you are filtering by an operator, you can also go really far out too, and that's because in theory operators are probably operating in one select area, and we don't want to have a limitation where you're they're not able to see all their spots all at once. They can't zoom out far enough. Let's see. I guess you've probably noticed that this call out now is updated. So instead of kind of a floating call out around when you click a map marker, it now has this fixed position one at the bottom that shows a maximum of 5 machines and the location type, the distance from where you are, and you can click into it and then get into the location details from there. We changed the heart icon for your favorited places to just be a pink circle, kind of simplifying that. And let's see, other things. We did a lot of design tweaks throughout all this, gave some tips for when people are leaving comments on machines, to try to, make sure you're being mindful of operators and the work they put in, and tips to make sure to tell people on site about issues, not just rely on leaving issues in the comments here. Lots of other things that we changed, small things, small design type things. And I think lastly on tablets, you can now switch between landscape and portrait mode. That was another request from a while ago. So that's it. Happy mapping.